There is victory for us. There is victory for us. In the name of the CPP, we can find and walk along. Forward! Forward and back, backwards never. In the name of the CPP, there is victory. Forward! Forward ever, backwards ever. In the name of the CPP, there is victory.
Freedom! Today is one of those days, a very important day in our lives of CPP and in our lives as Ghanaians. For all the times that we've called you to this place as the political party and as the Convention People's Party, today is that day that I expect that when we are done, that people across this nation will not only see that indeed today was 57 years ago, was one of the darkest days of Ghana and of Africa. And it was not by any coincidence that our father wrote when he was in Guinea, the dark days of Ghana. We have our brother who also calls it the day of what? Shame. Of shame. I would like to say one word for the press conference today. I want to send a message out there to the duopoly. There is a statement that says that success is duplicable. Success is duplicable. When something is working, why change it? What did CPP led by Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah achieve within the shortest possible time? From 60 to 66. So it's 63 to 66. What was the achievement? When we get down, we would go around and see a few things that we have enumerated and listed. These are not imaginations of our mind, but the very things that happened and what it is today. How do you achieve success? When young people are born, they crawl because they know. Then they start walking because they see you walk. When something has worked and you abandon it, and you keep doing the very same thing that gives you the wrong result, and you keep repeating the result, there is a name called for that. It is called insanity. We will not blame leaders again. It is about time that Ghanaians stop blaming the leadership of this country. The leadership are not supposed to be blamed. It is we, the Ghanaians, that needs to be blamed. Senka, if they could have done it, they would have done it by now. I don't want to say much about the young people of Ghana because they've been fed with lies. They don't even have the Nkrumah books in the schools. Unless you travel outside to the universities out of this country, that you have access to quality reading of what actually happened in Ghana. On the day of the coup, as we just heard by our mother, Nana Yajiman Kunedu, that when she was in the secondary school in Infants in Achimota, on the day of the coup, who supervised the burning of the books and why was it supervised? Why did they insist? Why were people criminalized? Why is it today, even today, as we have our constitution, we still have Nkrumah as a wanted man? I'm telling you today, go find out. Why was my father jailed for 2 years without questioning? As a young girl, I am sitting here today with every pain that anybody can have. I am not doing politics alone. I am speaking for my children and the next generation of this country, that it is enough. The duopoly cannot solve the problem. It is not magic. It is a formula. And like I said, success is duplicable. It is cut and paste. Once it's working, cut what has worked and paste it. What did we do? The focus was simple. Independence must equal economic independence. Political independence without economic independence is meaningless. And that is what we are experiencing today. So, because we said the African was and is capable, and that the Ghanaian is capable, and therefore we can manage our affairs, we needed to demonstrate that indeed we can manage our affairs. So, with the spirit of the youth of this country that we are seeking and asking today, because every Ghanaian youth listening to me has the spirit of Osachifo in him or her. Everybody sitting here today has the spirit of Osachifo in him or her. What is the spirit of Osachifo? The spirit of Osachifo is the spirit of God in you that seeks the welfare of others, that puts the welfare of others at the center of every decision and every policy you make. The spirit of self-led dedication will not let you think only of your children, will not let you think of how you amass wealth at the expense of the masses, will not let you sign contracts that give you less than 90%, about less than 10% of your resources to foreigners. And you have nothing to show. And you don't even have a timeline to this contract that is only lasting for 5 years or 10 years. That you sign an indefinite contract because you don't have the spirit of Osachifo, which is the spirit of God within man. We want this moment here and this today to ignite that spirit within everybody, because until we ignite the spirit within ourselves, so that we can demand of ourselves and therefore demand higher from our leadership of this country, we'll continue to vote blindly, vote cluelessly, and continue to be ruled by people who will keep repeating the mistakes of the past and keep repeating the mistake over 17 times. We will end up at IMF, World Bank. All these people do not have our interests at heart. The CIA files clearly indicates who overthrew Osachifo and CPP. It is as clear as that. I do not want to bore you. I just want to take you downstairs and show you what we achieved within that short time. We keep telling you that within that short period of time, Ghana was able to everything that I see that we consume at our time was produced in Ghana, including TV, fridges, radio, everything. Indeed, when I saw yesterday, people going, I was in this morning on Captain Thomas' show, where they were showing some authorities going around destroying TVs and fridges that have been imported into this country. We are asking that we do not import used fridges. Yes, we shouldn't import used fridges. We shouldn't even import nothing used. We should be able to produce it here. But you cannot continue to whip people when your leadership has not created the environment and the enabling situation where the factories are there and we can even do high purchase. In other parts of the world, the goods are produced there, and the system is working to the extent that a young person like you can always go to the shop and buy new things on high purchase and pay monthly, weekly, bi-weekly with your salary. It does not happen here. So, based on cash and carry, you can only afford what you can afford. You don't get up today, make policy and implement the policy because you do ad hoc position. Leadership is about planning, and planning means that you must follow a working plan. CPP had a working formula that produced over 400 factories after the independence. It was a formula and the thinking that took the colonial masters out of this country. And it's a formula and the thinking that produced the over 400 factories within the shortest possible time without going to IMF. 17 times to IMF is a shame, and it simply means that our independence and the suffering of our dead fathers who went to jail and those of them who actually died in exile have been made useless. And that is why we are here today to say that the young people of this country, CPP has opened its doors. Don't waste your time anymore. Don't waste your votes. Don't waste it. Voting for the duopoly is the waste of your time and your energy. They do not have a plan. This neoliberal policy, where you say you are a capitalist country, a capitalist-oriented government, you are opening your doors for everybody to come, and you don't have the capital for your youth. Capitalism without capital is a failure and a shame. You do not have the capital for your youth. You must create the resources. We have the natural resources. And today, we are saying that for this year, we are declaring the Remembrance Month from starting today to the end of March. It's going to be the CPP and Ghana's month of remembrance of what we did and what they should be able to duplicate. So we would, from today, as you see it, we'll be having series of programs. This is just the launch of the Remembrance Month. I think they have forgotten what it is. And for the young people who seem not to know what has happened, we will be able to educate them so that come 2024, they will not get back and say, we are sorry because we voted you out, come back. No. What are they coming back for? Why are you voting these people out and bringing the very same people who are even as equally with the same policy? It is not about the heart of people. It is about the policies that you have put there in addition to your commitment and your vision. If you don't have a plan, no matter what you do, you would achieve what we see in Ghana here, a failed nation, a bankrupt nation, a nation where its own pension, yes, its own citizens who have worked so hard cannot even trust the nation itself. That for me is the peak of dishonesty and the peak of a situation where we cannot continue to be complacent. So today, I called you here just to tell the message that success duplicable. It's been done before. They should just take our plan. What did we had a 7-year plan. We only achieved 3 years and did the most in this country till today. Everything you see here today that has any significance was achieved under the reign of CPP led by Dr. Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. And so on this note, I launched the 1 month remembrance of our fathers, our mothers, and the truncated, abandoned factories. We will be mourning for those factories. Otherwise, my father went to jail for 2 years in vain. Osajifo died in exile for vain. All these other people died for vain. No, it will not happen. And so, let me send a message out there.
Freedom! Forward ever! In the name of great CPP.